Should bars and clubs have more than one DJ, like 2 or 3 in rotation? I say absolutely yes. But I'm talking about one DJ per night, not multiple DJs per night necessarily. I don't think that's always needed. It's something a lot of people do, but yeah, I don't think it's 100% necessary. And I've got reasoning for that. But yeah, question popped up on the DJ help desk. I think I misread it at first, but yeah, I think it's the responsible thing to do to have more than one DJ per bar or club for a lot of reasons. Let's say that most bars or clubs at least operate on Friday and Saturday nights for DJs. I mean, they may be open other nights for other things, but to have a DJ there, like if it's a sports bar or something like that, yeah, Fridays and Saturdays are usually the big night. And if a place has just one DJ, well, I don't know. Think about me, for instance. I'm a mobile DJ, but I like doing bars and clubs. And I don't mind doing bars and clubs when I'm not doing mobile work. But if I have mobile work, I want to take it because it pays a lot more, right? So it would be nice to have somebody who could come in and work when I'm busy. So it works out for me that a bar or a club has more than one DJ. But how does it work out for the establishment? Here's my experience with this. I think consistency is incredibly important when it comes to entertainment at a venue like a bar or a club. And I'll give you an example. You know, I've been doing this, bars and clubs, since I was a teenager. And the one thing I've always tried to do is establish a night. Like Friday is usually the night that I want to try to establish that I'm there, unless a mobile gig pops up or there's an emergency or something. I'm willing to work Saturday nights or any other night. But when clients come in on a Friday night and they enjoy themselves, and they come to me and they say, hey, this was great, when do you work? I want to say, I'm here every Friday. Almost every Friday. Of course, once in a while, things happen and a sub comes in, but for the most part, I'm consistently there on Fridays. I want to be able to tell that to them. And sometimes I'll be there on Saturday, and the Saturday person, they may have the same thing where they have clients that come in and say, wow, this is great. Are you here every Saturday? Yeah, I am. Pretty much every Saturday. That's a cool thing to do. I think it's good for the bar because they get consistency and DJs can start bringing their own crowd into places. If it's not consistent and you have a pool of DJs that are just going into bars and clubs kind of willy-nilly, I don't think it serves anyone well. It doesn't serve the DJ well. It doesn't serve the bar well. It doesn't serve the clients well. I had this problem at the last bar/club I was working at, where they would make a schedule every month and they would just kind of put me wherever. Some weekends I'd work, some weekends I wouldn't. Sometimes I do 2, sometimes I do none. There's no consistency there. And I don't believe that's good for business. How am I supposed to establish a clientele come in there for what I'm doing if I can't tell them when I'm working? Yeah, you can put up social media stuff and give people your schedule, but that's a lot of work. If you just tell somebody, yeah, I'm here on Fridays, that's going to stick with them. And if they're with a group of people and they say, hey, it's Friday, what do we do? Oh, I know a place we can go. There's a DJ there I really like. I think you'll dig him. Go. That's the ideal scenario. If somebody's managing a bar or club well, I think they understand this. If they're inexperienced, they don't. And unfortunately, I had people who were inexperienced with the entertainment planning of the place I was working at. And who knows, I may go back and work there. I don't know. But right now, they're not doing DJs at all. And there's a reason for that. They didn't have the consistency and they didn't have a structure in place. Now, you may say, well, hey, it depends. Maybe, what if the other DJs aren't very good? Well, look, we're all artists, right? And we're all at a different level of our development as we go out there and perform. You can't always have the best DJ all the time in a spot. The way I look at it with the DJs that I've worked with, I have never seen it as I'm better than them. I've always seen it as they do something different than I do, and they do. They play different sets than I do. They say different things on the microphone that I'll say. We're not all the same. We're different. We're artists. Just like turning on the radio. Not every artist sounds the same. A lot of them do. I give you that. A lot of them find a format and they do it, and you can't tell one song from the next as far as who the artist is. I understand that. But as a seasoned DJ, I think once you really get out there and you find your sets and you find your rhythm and you find your microphone presence, you become unique. And no one else is exactly like you. And that's a good thing. So, better, worse, I don't know. I've always kind of seen it as different. I've always seen it that way. Am I more qualified for certain jobs than others? Yeah. Am I not qualified for certain jobs? Yeah. But better or worse is not a term that I like to use when it comes to that kind of thing. Unless they're completely amateur and have no business up there. And there's a lot of that too, where they and their minds are much better than they actually are. The egos are huge out there in the DJ world. Massive, as they say in England. Hang on to that, massive egos in the DJ industry. Huge. If you can put your ego aside and worry more about what you're doing than what everybody else is doing, and worry less about hyping yourself, and worry more about actually developing your skills and your persona and your style as a DJ, I think you're going to be better off. An opinion, sorry, I have them. It happens. But yeah, I do believe that it's healthy for a bar or a club to have at least 2 or 3 DJs in rotation. But if you can establish a Friday night or a Saturday night or a Tuesday night or whatever it is as your night, that's going to be good for you and the establishment, ultimately. Even if you got to take off once in a while for something, that's fine. But for the most part, you're there. That's your slot. As far as DJs, multiple DJs a night, I know a lot of people who do that and they really like it. It would be tough for me. And the reason it would be tough for me is because when I'm playing at a bar or a club, throughout the night I'm kind of getting to know the crowd and the audience and kind of catching on to the vibe or whatever. It takes me a while to find that rhythm sometimes. I might play for an hour or so before I really find that spot that works well for the audience in front of me. If I've only got a 2-hour slot, what if it takes me a half hour to find the rhythm? You know, everybody was doing fine, then I come in, it's fresh. I don't know. I think it's different if you're playing at a house club or a hip-hop club or an EDM club where the audience is going there expecting a style of music. If you're doing open format bars, that's where it might get a little tough for you. Because yeah, I do believe it takes time to get to know the audience in front of you before you just find that rhythm and can play for them and have a successful night. So yeah, healthy to have more than one DJ. Some bars and clubs only have a DJ one night a week. Even at that, you probably want 2 people. And maybe you alternate that just to keep everybody on schedule. It's tougher that way, but yeah, if you can establish a night, like I said, like 3 times in this video, I think that's the way to go. So anyway, that's my video. Trying to get back into the swing of things. It's been a while. I've been super busy. But now I have time to shoot a video in between the things that I'm doing, which is just family stuff and a lot of manual labor. So playing catch up on a lot of things. So anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Thank you for your likes, subscriptions, comments. Please leave your comments down here. I'd really appreciate it. Practice and enjoy.